Papua New Guinea are front runners to become the 18th team of the National Rugby League, the NRL, the most toughest and most popular rugby league competition undoubtedly in the world. And Papua New Guinea are favorites to join that competition. Back in 2018, when I was a journalist for Post Korea, I did a story on Papua New Guinea's interest to join the Australian competition. So I had the opportunity to have a correspondence with then CEO of the NRL, Todd Greenberg. And Todd Greenberg basically said that in order for Papua New Guinea to join the top tier rugby league competition in Australia, they had to have financial viability. Now, what does that mean? It means that Papua New Guinea at this stage must show that they have the capabilities of running their own club successfully over a period of time. NRL had to aid cash-stricken clubs like the Newcastle Knights and the Gold Coast Titans. At one stage, the NRL was managing the teams and managing how they could pay back the NRL. Australia is looking to pump in 600 million. But is that going to be viable for Papua New Guinea to be in the NRL? There are certain business models, there are certain ways in which clubs make money, and there is no set criteria for a team to make it into the NRL. It's the NRL's prerogative, it's Australia Rugby League's prerogative on what criteria they set for each of the bids, or what criteria they use to choose which team will be the 18th team in the NRL. But that is something very important to consider. And the other thing to consider is a home ground. Australian Rugby League Commission Chairman Peter V'landys has revealed the NRL is against basing a Papua New Guinea team in Australia. Papua New Guinea is the likely recipient of the 18th license into the NRL, but like mentioned in this article by Peter V'landys, there are issues that Australia sees that might hinder the bid for Papua New Guinea, despite Papua New Guinea being favorites. Let's get some facts straight. NRL, the National Rugby League competition, is based in Australia, and the majority of the players that play in those teams and the majority of teams that take part in the competition are based out of Australia. So V'landys has mentioned that Papua New Guinea might find it difficult to lure Australian players, marquee players, that could be part of Papua New Guinea's new NRL side. Now, one thing is for certain, Papua New Guinea is a developing country and doesn't have some of the basic needs, or should I say, is not on par with the standards that Australia has, or what standards some of these players have. So by looking at this option, Papua New Guinea also has had recent negative perceptions put on the country. Papua New Guinea, like most developing countries in the world, has some sort of security concern, and it hasn't been good news for Papua New Guinea over the past years. We've been labeled as one of the most dangerous countries to visit in the world. Port Moresby, our capital city, has been dubbed as one of the most dangerous cities in the world, and we also have all the other issues. And coupled with us being a developing nation, we don't offer much in terms of a positive package or a positive lure for the Australians to come to Papua New Guinea, to be based here in Papua New Guinea with their families, and from PNG fly over to Australia every weekend and play in the NRL. So that is something that a lot of Australians are concerned with. How will PNG lure these players from Australia to Papua New Guinea? What incentives will these players get to live their lifestyle back in Australia? Most and majority of these players play in a competition that is based in Australia, and they have a different living standard from us, and they have a different culture and we have a different culture. Yes, they love the game of rugby league, but we have to see that these are human beings that have a culture and a life outside of the sport. They have families to worry about. Can we offer them what they have from in Australia? Can we offer their children the best schools? Can we offer them the safety and security that Australia offers them? Can we offer that here in Papua New Guinea? Well, that is one of the big concerns, that if we cannot lure the marquee players, the key signings that the PNG team will need for a strong, robust NRL side, I don't think we have a chance if we cannot provide these players with the incentives they need to be here in Papua New Guinea. So we have to find a way to ensure that if we get the license to be the 18th team in the NRL, how are we going to change the perception for these players or lure them? The incentives, what will we give them to join Papua New Guinea and play in PNG's NRL team?